Hello everyone, I'm Tam, and we're back with another round of my experiences. I want to share about my time with marijuana. So when I was in college, there was a medical dispensary near the near my college, which is a professionally licensed vendor for medicinal marijuana. So this is not like this is not the kind of like stuff on the street you kind of find, which may or may not be safe for you, or be laced with a bunch of other stuff. This is actually professionally manufactured marijuana, specifically for medicinal use. For example, to help you soothe your kind of like a joint pain or something like that. Some 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 skin products use medicinal marijuana to help you I guess soothe it helps you heal better and improve and reduce the irritation and so on. So it's not simply just for kind of like partying, just like kind of like forget life kind of stuff. It actually has a scientific and medical root that you can use to improve your own well being. So anyway, just to kind of like dispel the stigma behind marijuana, which has a kind of negative reputation because it's kind of associated with with like rappers who also are associated with usually crime and stuff like that. So it's kind of like has a negative reputation. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's just a plant that is being used for different purposes. So anyway, there was a medicinal dispensary near my university, so I decided to just go there and see what this is all about. Like what is it all about? Because I heard some good stuff about no marijuana, but so some strains of it can help you reduce anxiety, stress, that kind of stuff, and so on. So and also a different strain of it can help you can help you self reflect and process more deeply and so on. So it's not simply just for partying. I went down to this dispensary, and you have to be like above 21 or something. So show them your ID card and so on. So I went in there and then I looked at the catalog, and it was a bunch of various different things. They had like they have like strains with like different flavors, like ice cream or something, like walking into a ice cream shop with different flavors, mints and so on. They have like different ways to take it. You have gummy bears, you can kind of chew it, edibles, or you can kind of smoke like a little joint with it and so on. So there's a bunch of different like ways to ingest it as well. For my knowledge and experience and experience, yeah, there's two kind of main strains. One is sativa. Sativa is like the kind of like the kind of variation that gives you a kind of like a lightheaded kind of high feeling. So it kind of makes you forget that you have some kind of stress and so on. So it feels like so I took both strains. So when I took sativa, which was through the smoking, it felt like it felt like you were it feels like you're at a top of a roller coaster at the very top point, and then you're kind of falling down. So you have this kind of like lightweighted, like kind of like weightlessness feeling to it. So you feel you kind of floating a little bit. So that's the kind of like the kind of head feeling. You feel like you're kind of floating like the air kind of stuff like that too. So I guess like uh, I guess has a metaphor like floating above your thoughts. So you kind of like so you're not affected by the kind of negativeness or that may you may be experiencing from stress and so on. So you kind of just float on top of it, kind of float over it, and that probably lasts like the active feeling probably lasts like um the for probably 2 hours. That the first the first kind of 30 minutes is kind of like it's kind of dead. You kind of, and then the next kind of hour it starts to build up to it, and then the last 30 minutes it kind of tapers off. So that's how it kind of feels like. Anyway, well, based on the amount that I smoked, So that's what that's what sativa does. So that's more of like a party drug, kind of like a forget the kind of bad feeling, bad life kind of drug, similar to like smoking cigar or drinking cocktail kind of stuff, kind of like a more for recreational purposes. The other strain is I think it's called it, it starts with an I. I think it's called it indica. Yeah, indica. Sorry, I'm kind of like kind of just woke up right now, so I'm kind of hazy. Wait, so the other strain is indica, which is kind of more of a self reflecting kind of strain. So the ingestion method is similar. You can like take gummy bears, you can like tablets, you can smoke, ingest, and so on. So it's a similar ingestion process to sativa. So kind of it's the same thing. However, the feeling of indica is different because it takes you on a different kind of journey. So it probably lasts as it feels like it lasts twice as long as sativa because it's kind of more intense. The first 30 minutes to an hour is kind of just building up to it, and then the next two to 4 hours is you have kind of like the peaks and valleys, and then the last I guess 2 hours or something like that, it kind of just tapers off in the end. So it has a more kind of intense feeling to it. And this is a strain that usually people are kind of like I guess makes people feel kind of scared or something, like they feel kind of like scared, kind of like just kind of like on the edge, because because uh, this strain can do to you is it basically it basically makes you look at your own kind of thoughts. So it kind of pulls your subconscious, whatever you kind of think about, in the background, to the forefront, to the conscious. Pulls the subconscious to the conscious, so the background to the forefront, and you kind of know, just watch what's happening. And it can be kind of terrifying because you may have a lot of things kind of like pent up, from I guess a stressful job like customer service, and it brings you to the forefront, and you kind of see it and kind of watch it. It's like watching kind of like a movie, watching your kind of like subconscious work through things through the lens of it in the theater of the conscious mind. So that's kind of what it does. So it can definitely make you feel kind of scared and kind of like a frantic, what's going on, because there's so much stuff being worked out in the background that you're not really aware of, and so I did that. I did indica a few times, and it was definitely it helped me see more of what's kind of happening, see more of what's happening in the background in terms of like my stress, my thought processes, I definitely felt kind of like kind of like scared too because usually when you take this and you experience that, you want to like purge, like kind of barf up, because your entire body is trying to process all that, and it's kind of it can be too much to kind of process in a conscious mind, the forefront. So your body kind of like just purges and kind of just like barfs. I think indica is probably very similar to ayahuasca, probably like not the same strength wise, maybe like 5% of ayahuasca, like, but it can definitely put you in a similar direction as ayahuasca, does, which is a plant medicine used by the I think the South American, some regions of South America, like Peru, take ayahuasca to, I guess, achieve more enlightened state and stuff like that too. So that one is actually, I mean, in terms of usefulness, indica is actually more useful than sativa because you have to kind of like confront your own kind of thought processes, which is what in the background, and you may not be aware of it, So that is actually more useful. Um, in total, I mean, like, however, like, despite the fact that indica showed me a lot of things, I still was able to change my behavior, so to speak, and my path. So it probably wasn't strong enough for me to, I guess, to bend me to a different direction, anyway. But it definitely showed me like there was something being worked out in the background that I probably wasn't too aware of, and brought it to the forefront, which was most likely too much for me to handle. So I kind of just puked for like half an hour, in the bathroom, half an hour to an hour, just like puking, not intensely, kind of just like, like, yeah, um, maybe after 5 minutes, at each 5 minute interval, I would kind of like purge a little bit, like bleh, and just kind of barf in the bathroom. So anyway, the entire experience for indica can be enlightening, for you to see what's going on. It may not still be enough to kind of change your path and trajectory, because once that experience is over, you still have to you still have to make a choice for yourself whether or not to continue down the path you're currently walking on, or perhaps there is a different route that's more meaningful and fulfilling for you. So both sativa and indica um, have their own kind of purpose, and for me anyway, although I enjoy the kind of the kind of funness and festivity of sativa, and the kind of the introspectiveness, and self-reflection of indica, marijuana wasn't really for me. I don't really see it being a part of my life in the long run. Besides perhaps recreational uses, but other than that, it hasn't it won't likely change it won't likely play a major role in changing my course, or what course I'm currently walking on down the road. Not to say that for you it can't be the case. Perhaps you smoke a joint of indica and you realize, oh well, I was actually sleepwalking, the last 10 years. Oh shoot, wow, I definitely can see that now, more clearly than before doing this. So uh, you may change your life that way. Like, to my knowledge, there is no downside to a standardized dosage of indica or sativa. So worst case scenario, you may puke for like half an hour to an hour, kind of just trying to just like work out your system. Oh, and also like, for testing purposes, like, for your job, you may have to refrain from from doing this for a few months until it completely exits your system, and so on. So I will not do this purely for recreation, like kind of like binging on KFC once a month, something like that. I wouldn't do this, because there's definitely legal risks, legal legal risk associated with this, particularly if you have a job. However, like maybe like once a year, just to kind of self reflect, or I guess one just to try it out, see what it's like. I I think it may be helpful to you.